Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me today is Bill Olson, our trading anchor, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are pushing downward this morning, with S&P futures down 0.42%, Dow futures down 0.49%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.15%. Futures have seen ongoing declines today as traders brace for a fallout from forced block trades. A major factor has been the revealing that Archegos Capital Management was behind this major $20 billion spree of block trades last Friday, selling Chinese tech giants and U.S. media firms. Many banks are said to be exposed to Archegos, and investors wait warily for any signs of an anticipated wide-scale fallout. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley fell about 3%. Media shares, including Viacom, CBS, also declined. Elsewhere in markets, West Texas Intermediate crude slid as much as 2.6% after the Ever Given was refloated in a first step to reopening the Suez Canal to traffic. A dollar gauge rose and 10-year U.S. Treasury yields slipped. Over in Europe, the Stock 600 gauge rose for a second day as gains for defensive sectors, including food and beverages, outweighed losses for cyclical sectors such as bank and travel. Other catalysts to look out for later this week include President Joe Biden and his plan to unveil a further stimulus program with a tilt toward infrastructure, and U.S.-China ties after a report that Washington isn't ready to lift tariffs on Chinese imports in the near future, but may be open to trade talks. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
Well, I listen. The S&Ps have been, flat to lower all day. They're really holding at this level, waiting for the market to open up. Bank stocks are absolutely showing weakness. That demise of the hedge fund, which closed out that $20 billion worth of positions on Friday. People are concerned. Are these brokers, such as Credit Suisse, Nomura, Goldman Sachs, do they have any? Is there any risk here? Are they going to be on the hook for the margin loans? Goldman came out and said that they're not, but it doesn't matter. They're really hammering these bank stocks this morning. I'm watching oil closely. Oil continues to be weak. Why? Because there's progress being made on that container ship. It's supposedly 80% floating on its own right now, and that could be moved out of the Suez Canal to allow traffic to be flowing through this week. We've seen some gains in transportation and utility sectors. You got to remember this week is the end of the first quarter. Later this week, we got an OPEC meeting, and the March unemployment figures, the non-farm payrolls, they're due out on Friday. And remember, Friday is a holiday. So the markets will be closed when these numbers come out. But these are some things I'm paying attention to, Shane.
Well, let's go ahead and move into earnings to watch today. Bill, what are we seeing as far as earnings?
Well, there's one that I was watching, Calmine Foods, that's ticker CALM, Charlie Apple, Larry Michael. They delivered a 21-cent beat on lower revenue. Stock's pretty much unchanged this morning. So I'm not seeing any significant movement in it. But, the calendar's not active. It's a little light, but we got some good names reporting this week. You have Lululemon coming out Tuesday afternoon. They're priced for a 7.4% move, and the earnings estimate is $2.49 for Lululemon. McKesson, the spice maker, they're coming out tomorrow morning. They're priced for a 3.7% move, and their estimated EPS is 58 cents. Micron, they're also coming out Tuesday afternoon. They're priced for a 7.2% move. EPS estimates are 94 cents. Chewy.com, they're priced for a 12.7% move when they release earnings tomorrow afternoon. And the projections are for a 10-cent loss in that one. Walgreens Boots Alliance, they're coming out Wednesday morning. They're priced for a 5.7% move. And the estimates are for $1.11. EPS estimates are at $1.11. So that's what I'm going to be watching for earnings right now.
Any insights as far as upcoming earning announcements?
You got to keep an eye on Lululemon. Lululemon, raised its fourth quarter guidance after a strong holiday season. They said on January 11th. Now the company expects sales and EPS to be at the high end of previously stated forecast. That came out on January 11th, and they still had 6 weeks to go or 7 weeks to go before they finished the quarter. That's a really positive sign. That's why Lululemon was up so big on Friday. That's why it's up this morning. Yeah, got to keep an eye on shares of Lululemon. Micron, look at this on March 3rd. They now see revenues of $6.2 billion. They think it's going to be 6.2 to 6.25 billion to be specific. Now, this is higher than their previous forecast of 5.6 billion to 6 billion. So, you got to keep an eye on Micron. They really could come in and deliver some strong numbers because this news came out on March 3rd. The company expects adjusted profits between 93 cents and 98 cents per share, and that's up from the previous estimate of 68 to 82 cents. Now, Micron's going to run into earnings. You got to be careful there because this came out on March 3rd, and the quarter was January, February, March, or was it December, January, February? I got to take a look at that before I make an opinion on what I'm going to do here. But that's what I'm seeing. That's my insights for the upcoming earnings announcements, Shane.
Let's go ahead and move into economic reports. Bill, what are we seeing for the day?
10:30 a.m. with the Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index. And then at 3 p.m., we have Fed Governor Christopher Waller making his first speech ever as a Fed governor. So that should be interesting what he says. He's pretty much a dove, so we'll be waiting to hear from him later this afternoon.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Ionis Pharmaceuticals, that's ticker IONS. The company reported positive top-line phase 2 study results for its hereditary angioedema treatment, which included reduction of a bodily attack caused by the disease by up to 97%. Ionis share price is up 2.56% in pre-market. In other news, aircraft leasing firm Fly Leasing, ticker FLY, is being acquired by an affiliate of Carlyle Aviation Partners for $17.05 per share, or a total of $520 million. Fly share price is up 26.64% in pre-market. News on Tesla, ticker TSLA. CEO Elon Musk said on Twitter that his EV company is too cell constrained right now when asked about the company's semi program, which develops the automaker's electric semi trucks. Musk added that Tesla should be fine next year, but investors are likely to be concerned with Musk's last comment. Tesla share price is down 0.45% in pre-market. In other news, Humanigen, ticker HGEN, reported phase 3 top-line results for its treatment, Linzilimab, in patients hospitalized with COVID-19. Trial results showed that the patients who received Linzilimab had a 54% greater likelihood of survival without need for ventilation. Humanigen share price is up 63.4% in pre-market. In other news, People's Bank Corp, ticker PEBO, will be acquiring Premier, ticker PFBI, for $292.3 million in an all-stock merger agreement. Premier share price is up 3.46% in pre-market. News on Southwest Airlines, ticker LUV. Southwest has completed the restructuring of its delivery schedule with Boeing, ticker BA, for the MAX aircraft. Southwest completed the multi-year evaluation of the successor aircraft to its current Boeing 737-700 model with a selection of the 737 MAX 7 aircraft, of which it will order 100. And so that schedule is now set for delivery in 2022. Boeing share price is up 2.6% in pre-market. In other news, Facebook, ticker FB, has partnered with Alphabet, ticker GOOGL, for 2 new undersea cables to connect Singapore, Indonesia, and North America. The undersea cables are expected to increase overall subsea capacity in the Trans-Pacific by about 70%. Facebook share price is up 0.61% in pre-market. News on Johnson & Johnson, ticker JNJ. The company is providing up to 220 million COVID-19 vaccine doses to the African Vaccine Acquisition Trust, with the potential for the African Union to order 180 million more through 2022. J&J's share price is down 0.35% in pre-market. Lastly, for me, Las Vegas Sands, ticker LVS, is reportedly looking into possible money laundering violations at Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. Las Vegas Sands share price is down 0.16% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Shane, I break my news alerts down to specific events and sectors. That way I can really hop on the hot news as it breaks. I'm looking at my FANG alert this morning, and I see that I see a lot of good things going on here. I got to tell you, Facebook just froze the Venezuelan president Nicolas Maduro's page for violating its policies against spreading misinformation about the COVID-19 virus. This is exactly why I was in front of Congress last week. So this is a good step moving forward of them silencing people that are making erroneous claims. Amazon has that high-profile union election. All the votes are due in today, so we're going to be getting a conclusion on that unionization vote for Amazon's plant in Alabama today. My Dow Jones 30. Let's talk about Visa, ticker V, as in Victor. They launched a pilot program to use USD coin to settle transactions. That's their first leg into cryptocurrencies. Walgreens Booth Alliance, that's ticker WBA. They're set to release earnings on Wednesday. You might see some movement in the stock ahead of earnings. Let's talk about shares of Caterpillar, ticker CAT, Charlie Apple Tom. Shares are higher as the Suez Canal container ship has been partially freed. Supposedly it is 80% floating on its own right now. Goldman Sachs, ticker GS, Gray Sam. Goldman expects immaterial loss from the hedge fund collapse. And Boeing, the plane maker, has resumed deliveries of its 787 Dreamliner jet, and they actually handed one over to United Airlines on Friday. A couple things in the option world that I'm seeing. Credit Suisse, ticker Charlie Sam CS, 30-day option implied volatility is at 39. Now, this is a 52-week range of 31 to 88, and the focus is really on the April 13 puts. And on Friday, that call put ratio was 1 to 48. Ticker IQ, India question, their 30-day implied volatility is at 139. Now, the 52-week range is 46 to 133, so it's high vol for the shares of IQ this morning. Let's take a look at my FDA alert, Merck. Ticker MRK, Michael Richard Kilo. The CEO is said to be retiring on June 30th. CFO Robert Davis has been named as its successor. Also important to note that Merck has a PDUFA date today, which is likely going to be extended, but they do have a date that is March 29th. Ticker BRPA, Boy, Richard, Paul, Apple. They reported positive trials on their treatment for the COVID-19 respiratory patients. Johnson & Johnson, ticker J&J, they're coming under fire for some investors who are raising questions about companies that are giving pay raises to their chief executives despite facing billions of dollars in legal costs over the role, especially with Johnson & Johnson, over its role in the U.S. opioid crisis. For events today, Amgen, ticker AMGN, Apple, Michael, Grace, Nancy. Oppenheimer's holding a call with management today. You might see some movement on Amgen tomorrow. Could be worth watching. Verizon, ticker VZ, Victor Zebra. Cowen's holding a call with management today, so I'll be interested to see if there's any news on their 5G platform coming out. But that's the news that I'm seeing today, Shane.
Well, moving into our Trade Talk picks for today, I'm picking Caterpillar, ticker CAT, one that Bill just spoke about, down about 86 cents right now. And it's got room to move higher. It's been weak over the last few days because of what's been going on with the Suez Canal. Now that that's opening up, there should be some gains to be able to be seen now that they're getting their product through and things are seeing the light of day. So I think we can expect that to move higher. So that's what I'm getting into. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with Salesforce.com, ticker CRM, Charlie Richard Mary. It's really sold off recently. It's pushing down under that 210 level, which is always a good sign. Now, the news reports are, if you look closely, there are news reports, a number of them, that Salesforce, the company they're buying out, Slack, has been adding a lot of features similar to Clubhouse And this is going to be really where Salesforce is going to be moving towards, to support people who are working from home. So this depression right now that we're seeing in Salesforce, I think could turn around this afternoon, and we're going to see these shares trade higher. So I'm watching shares of CRM this morning.
Let's go ahead and move into what's hot off the press. So the news that's hitting the tape as we speak that will be moving the stocks today is what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Bill, looking at our newswire alerts, seeing the headlines streaming in, which are the ones we should be letting traders know about?
Ticker AUTL, Apple under Tom Larry. They just announced an update to their manufacturing strategy. And the other one I want to just mention is Camping Worldwide. This is ticker CWH, Charlie William Harry. They just acquired Trailer City RV dealership in Fairmont, West Virginia. These guys keep buying people left and right. You got to keep an eye on shares of Camping Worldwide, CWH.
Headline on Nomura. Looks like Nomura, the Japanese bank ticker NMR, is issuing warnings related to losses that are said to be tied with the collapse of Archegos Capital. One from Moderna, ticker mRNA. They've just shipped their 100 millionth dose of COVID-19 vaccines to the U.S. government.
Ticker EA, this Elvis, Apple, Electronic Arts. They just announced a new PGA Tour golf game.
NV5, ticker NVEE, has just acquired Geodynamics.
See, Morgan Stanley adjusted Honeywell's price target to 230 from 220.
To AIMTech, ticker AME, just completed 3 acquisitions, one on Magnetrol International, Crank Software, and then one on EGS Automation.
Here's one on Goldman's option implied volatility is at 31 compared to a 52-week range of 27 to 75. So you always want to buy low vol.
One on Nomad Foods, it's ticker NOMD. Nomad Foods is to acquire Fortenova Group's frozen food business group for aggregate of 615 million in euros.
Here's one on GSX, Gray Sam X-Ray. Citi just upgrades GSX, and it's looks like it's a short-term catalyst. It was a double upgrade, by the way.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing.
Same here. So that'll do it for what's hot off the press. But traders, keep in mind, you can receive the same breaking stories that we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial today. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Friday. I had Micron, ticker MU, which opened at $84.16 and went as high as $87.99 by the close of the market for a 4.55% gain. And today the stock is running even higher in pre-market. That would take the investment up to nearly a 5% gain. So really good move for us. How'd yours end up doing, Bill?
Well, I went with Lululemon on Friday. That's ticker LU, Larry under. Stock opened up at 302.48, and it closed at the day near the high at 314. So that was like $11.50 move or 3.8%. And you look at it, it's up again this morning. So yeah, it was a good trade on Friday for Lululemon.
Nice, good trades all around. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.